Hello fellow Star Wars fans, my name is Starrapter and welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look and reviewing Star Wars Doctor Aphra issue number 5. This concludes the first arc for volume 2 titled Fortune and Fate. And in this, Dr. Aphra is going after the Rings of Vaale. She has a new crew, but she also has Black Hair Santin who returns. And throughout this journey, there is a villain who's going after those rings. His name is Ronen Tagge. It turns out in this issue, we find out that he has one of the rings. It's been transferred through his family line as a sort of heirloom, as a sort of power move. And he wants the other ring, which is supposedly going to create this bond, which allows the user to have invincibility. Essentially, they cannot die. So that is the crux of this story, and by the end of the story, the greed of Ronen Tagge and the power hungriness of him, if that's a verb I can use, makes him get vaporized but maybe come back to life. And at the end of this issue, we see that his aunt, who is named Domina, she is actually from the 80s versions of the Marvel comics, and it's cool that a lot of people are making that connection to those comics. She is now a little bit ticked off that she thinks that her nephew has died, and now she has to hit out for Dr. Aphra. So talking about things I liked about this issue, first off is Dr. Aphra being ruthless, being very on the edge of what could be concerned as like an anti-hero in a sense, because she is sacrificing one of her own team members in Dr. Eustacia to kind of test that the validity of her experiment is that the rings do not actually in fact protect the wearer from death and whatnot. And she throws her into a room to prove to Tagge that yes, they will save her. And in fact, she slices the computer, and she planned this whole time. She survived, but it wasn't because of the rings. It was because of technology and the slicing droid that Ronen didn't know about. So I thought that was really cool about how we get that pivotal moment where I'm like, oh my gosh, is she actually going to die? Like, she's actually going to let this person that has been with her for the last couple issues just straight out die. So that was nuts. Ronen Tagge is a complete jerk, and he gets what he deserves in the end of this issue when he actually explodes with the rings in the disintegrator. But he somehow survived. I don't know if the rings survived, but that does tell you maybe something about maybe the rings do have some kind of spirituality in them for him to somehow be alive after all that those explosions happened. Do they actually work? Very interesting stuff there. I also liked seeing Data in action in this issue. This person that, double crossed Aphra at one point is still now on her side, and she has these expandable little blades that come out of her hands, which remind me of X-23 from the Wolverine comics and all that. And she's just straight up slashing the goons of Ronen Tagge. It's really, really cool. And the whole way that this whole thing ends with the aunt of Ronen Tagge, her name is Domina. She apparently was in Legends in the old Marvel comics. Now she is kind of ticked off that Aphra took out her nephew, and now she is commanding a large force because of Tagge's, I guess that's how you pronounce it, Tag, I'm not sure. She is related to General Tagge, so it's cool seeing the lineage of a family that's not a Force user. It's not a Palpatine, it's not a Skywalker, but we have the Tagges in Star Wars, and they are a pretty formidable force. They're not entirely with the Empire. They're their own kind of family lineage. They have, real estate on Canto Bight, which tells you right away that these guys have to have deep pockets for that to happen. But I'm just excited to see where this comic series goes. We're going to get Sound of Star Wars coming back into Star Wars comics in this Empire Strikes Back era, so I'm excited to see that. What do you guys have to say about Dr. Aphra issue number 5? Did you enjoy this first arc for volume 2? Let's talk about it in the comment section down below. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I have plenty of Star Wars content that is coming out to you very, very often. I put out my entire playthrough of Star Wars Squadrons. It's up there on a playlist, so you can check out every mission, all 15 of them on the channel right now. I also put out a look back at season 1 of The Mandalorian. I have it's a pretty longish episode. It's pretty much like a podcast format. It's over an hour and a half long with my buddies Milton Weber as well as Ben Maynard, so you can check that out. And I will be reviewing episodes of The Mandalorian season 2, which by the time this video is out, that means at midnight for some of you people on the Pacific Coast. I believe you'll be able to watch it in just a couple hours now, so it's going to be quite something, and I can't wait to see what happens in season 2. There's a lot of cool rumored characters that could show up, so I'm very excited to actually see those maybe come to fruition in just a couple hours of time. That's gonna do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.